Hi, my name is Nicholas de Preer. I'm from South African Technical Auditing Services. We are a certification body that specializes in certification of timber products. I'm here today at Lamel to discuss the differences between using a certified product and a non-certified product and the risks that can come with using a non-certified product. Certification is a long process whereby the product is evaluated through various tests, which include chisel tests and strength tests, and the use of adhesives within the product to ensure that they can comply to the weathering requirements of South African National Standard 1460, which is the standard for laminated timber. South African National Standard 1460 is the national standard for laminated timber. Laminated timber is the combination of laminates of either pine or saligna into a unit, meaning that there will be different laminates of pine or different laminates of saligna, or both if you wanted to do that. When using any component in a structural application, you need to make sure that it is certified. Certified therefore means that the process has been evaluated and it is correct for the end use of that application. The risks of using a non-certified beam is that if something was to happen to your structure, you would have no claim to any failure. Not your contractor or the manufacturing facility will be traceable because there will be no mark on the beam, and because they have not followed all the steps and it has not been verified through quality control or through a certification body, there is no guarantee that that beam will hold your structure. How do you differentiate between a certified product and a non-certified product? A non-certified product will have no marking on it. A certified product will have the certification mark on, either SABS or SATAS. It will have its class, it will have its structural integrity, meaning the grade that it can be used for grade 5, 7 or 10. It will have its finish, which will be planed or fine sawn. It will always be in signal red, at least 1 meter from the end on one of the edges. Some facilities will mark more, but you will always find at least one mark 1 meter from the end. Why use laminated timber and not normal pine or saligna in its raw form? The reason is fairly simple. Because of the diminishing amount of timber that we are able to use for structural timber these days in the South African market, we need to start looking at laminating, because it allows you to provide dimensions that you would not necessarily be able to cut in its raw state at the sawmill. This means that you are going to have to laminate certain factors together to get deeper dimensions and wider dimensions. The laminated timber is glued together by means of an adhesive that is approved for structural purposes. This is then pressed together for a period of time to ensure that the laminated bonds are sufficiently cured. These are then verified by means of chisel test, where a section of the laminated beam will be cut off and broken by means of a chisel to see that the bonds are properly cured and that there is fiber break, meaning that the wood breaks and not the adhesive. Laminated beams are then put through a planing system where they are brought down to a regularized system where the dimensions must be uniform from one end to the other, meaning on thickness and on width. And after that process, evaluated for all aesthetic appearances and that all bonds have been sufficiently cured without having any gaps across them. If there are any gaps, they need to be either fixed or the beam process needs to start from scratch, because it means that there might be a bond that will delaminate in its application. Once that process has been satisfied, it will then go to a testing process. The laminated beam is then tested over a certain span to ensure that it reaches the correct force without any failure. Every laminate can be finger jointed. And by doing that, it can have as many as 20, even 30 joints over a 6-meter span. A finger joint bond is, in most cases, actually stronger than what the timber can be, because it is a controlled, unnatural joint. The joint needs to comply to certain strength requirements and therefore must be evaluated on a rigorous process throughout the quality management system, and the quality controller is continuously evaluating throughout the process to ensure that each bond is sufficiently profiled and sufficiently bonded with a proper adhesive and cured before being laminated into a laminated beam.